Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julie. I am coming to you guys today with another homeschooling video. So today, my topic is going to be teaching math, specifically teaching math to multiple children. I am a mom of 5. I'm currently homeschooling my 4 children, and I have been homeschooling for 8 years now. There are so many subjects that we want to teach our children through homeschooling, but there are a few that are most important, and math is one of those. So math is a subject that you want to be including daily. I have a few tips here. I have a whole sheet of paper completely full of notes. I'll try to get through it pretty quickly though. And so I just have a few tips to share all about teaching math to multiple children. Another tricky thing with math is that every child is at their own level. So I like to teach my children together as much as I can. And so some subjects I can just group them together and teach them all. But math and reading, your children are definitely needing to do their own curriculum at their own level. My first tip is to get to math early on in your day. I don't mean you have to start your day with math, we don't, but I do schedule math fairly early on in our homeschooling day. I do have a schedule written out for our homeschool day. We definitely treat it more as a routine, and it's not the same every day. We're quite flexible, but the kids know at what point of the day math is. That helps for them just to know what to expect. They know when in the day they will be doing math. And also their brains are just sharpest first thing in the morning. I find that math is a good thing to get out of the way early on in the day. Also, if something unexpected comes up and you maybe don't get to those last subjects of the day, at least you know math can get done because it is scheduled early on in the homeschool morning. My next tip is to find a curriculum that works for you. Big disclaimer here, you don't have to be good at math in order to teach math to your child, to successfully teach your child. There are so many curriculums out there, and you want to find a curriculum that is a good fit for your child. It's a good fit for you, whether that curriculum is online or it is a workbook, whether it's more independent or it's more parent taught. Find a curriculum that will work well for you. If you've been around my channel for long, then you know that we love teaching textbooks. Once our children reach the grade 3 level, they start doing teaching textbooks as their math curriculum. Today's video is sponsored by Teaching Textbooks. So I'm just going to quickly explain a little bit about how teaching textbooks works for us. Teaching Textbooks is a digital course that starts at level 3 and goes all the way through high school. When you sign up, you are getting a 12-month access to the course. Teaching Textbooks is very independent, and that is why, as a large family mom teaching multiple kids, this is just a winner for us. And so each of my kids do their math on the app. They all do it at the same time. They have 3 different devices that they're working on a tablet, one on a desktop, and one on a laptop. So when they sign in for the day, they find the lesson that they are currently on. They watch a lecture that explains in full what they need to learn that day. Takes so much pressure off me that I don't have to teach this. They can watch the lecture, they can re-watch the lecture. If they are still having trouble understanding, I can watch the lecture with them and help them if need be. Then they go in and answer all of their questions for the day. They type those in. There is a scratch pad that they can use the mouse and work out their question for the day. If you want, they can have paper on the side and do that also, but then they input the answer by using the computer. This app keeps a running course grade, so your child or you as the parent can always go in and see just how they're doing on the course. You can go in and see how they've done on each individual question, how many questions they're getting right each lesson, and if you find that your child maybe had a hard time with one lesson, maybe they only got 50%, you can see that, and you can just go in and delete all their answers, maybe have a little chat with them, watch the lecture with them, assist them a bit, and then they can go in and just completely redo that lesson. I don't think I could ever discuss teaching math to multiple children without bringing up Teaching Textbooks, because it has just been such a good fit for us. My youngest daughter, she is just in grade 1, so she's not doing Teaching Textbooks yet, but as the older 3 are doing Teaching Textbooks, I can help her out with her math So you just need to look and find the curriculum that you think would be the best fit for you, for your family. But if you do want to try out teaching textbooks, check out my link down below in the description where you can sign up for a free trial. My next tip is to take it off paper. So yes, worksheets are great and they are necessary, but if you can use as many 5 senses as possible as you are teaching math, I find that kids really can absorb that. So play some games, do some baking where your children have to measure items, use some manipulatives alongside your math workbook, use some visible objects, especially when they're young. I find if they're having a hard time, okay, what's 3 plus 5? And I just grab 3 pencils and 5 apples or something. That's probably not a great way to be combining different objects, but whatever object you want to use, if your child can visualize that, that can help so much. We also love to use songs for memorizing addition, subtraction, and multiplication facts. Plan out your grocery shopping trip or go grocery shopping, figure out taxes. There are so many ways to incorporate math more than just with your workbooks. For us, it has worked very well for everyone to do math at the same time. Math can be draining as a parent, as a teacher. And so if I can get everybody doing math, we have this 30 minutes or this 45 minutes where we're just focusing on math. It works well for us just to have everybody doing math at the same time. As your kids get older, they have more independence, and so it's not quite so taxing on you to be teaching math to everybody. Even though, yes, I have multiple children and I could still be pulled multiple directions, I feel like I can focus a little bit more when everybody's still doing the same thing. I'm not helping one child with math and one with grammar and one with spelling and one with their reading. Everybody, even though they're different levels, it's all math, and I find that I can just focus a bit better. I probably could have worded this better, but my next tip is to have a math goal. So as you're going into math for the day, different seasons call for different things. We definitely change this up, not just from year to year, but from day to day, but have some sort of goal for your child. So whether you want to open up their math lesson and say, okay, I want you to complete 3 pages today, or for my kids that do teaching textbooks, each lesson is usually 22 questions. So, okay, I want you to finish all 22 of those questions. Or some days I'll say, okay, we've got half an hour. I want you guys to work hard and get as much done as you can in 30 minutes. Or maybe we'll have a little bit less time and I'll say, okay, it's only 15 minutes and then we're gonna go for a break, but I want you all to work hard for 15 minutes. And so when you have just a goal, something that your child can work towards, rather than just sit down and start math with no end in sight, when they can work towards a goal, I think that helps them be more motivated to complete math for the day. My next tip is an important one I even think I need to work on more, but that is on having your child memorize their math facts. Sometimes we are going from lesson to lesson to lesson, and I'm not realizing, oh, they don't have their math facts memorized as much as they should. So they'll be going into, maybe they start going into long multiplication and they're doing 528 times 367. And yeah, there's a few steps in that, but if they have each of those multiplication facts memorized, they can do it pretty quickly. But if they sit there and go, okay, first, I know how to do this, 5 times 7, 5, 10, and they start counting that, then they write their answer. Okay, now my next one was 6 times 8. It can just take so long, whereas if they have those facts memorized, those longer problems can just be done quickly. So yes, at the beginning, they do need to figure out, how does multiplication work? How does addition work? But then make sure that your child is really memorizing those math facts and can just give you the answer really quickly. And in the long run, if you can see that your child is struggling, it is so worth it just to take a break from math for a week, for 2 weeks, and simply do flashcards. I love the math wrap-ups because those are nice and independent. We do math facts songs, just trying to really get them to memorize those. Then in the long run, they can go back to math, go back to their workbooks, go back to their online math, and be able to just quickly solve those problems. My last quick tip is to encourage independence. There are definitely seasons, and when your children are young, you need to be there helping them as they are doing their math. But as they get older, encourage them to be independent. I would just sit down and say, okay, here's what's happening. I can see your 2 pages of math. So right now I'm just thinking about my daughter who's in grade 1 and she's using her grade 1 math book. I will say, okay, you see these questions? These are subtraction. Notice that line, that's minus. And then see these ones down at the bottom? This is a plus sign. These ones are adding. Here are your math blocks. And I kind of prep her. And even though she is only in grade 1, I can walk away and I can come back, and she has done a pretty good job with that. Now, not all grade 1 students are like this. I've definitely had kids where if I walk away and come back, likely they will have done nothing. So this isn't a one size fits all. It's always going to work. But if you get your kids, no matter what level they're at, kind of start them off. I'm sorry, the lighting outside has just gotten crazy. I don't know if there's like a storm coming or what, but it's like dark, dark clouds and then super bright. Okay, now the sun went behind clouds. I just look up in my viewfinder every once in a while and I'm like, my lighting is really changing. But if you can get them started, just kind of prep them a little bit, like here's what's happening in this lesson, and you want to be around and always available to help them when needed, but especially as they get older, encourage them with independence, because you need that when you have lots of children that you are homeschooling. I hope these tips were helpful for you. Just a few things I've learned along the way as I've homeschooled my kids. If you have any other advice, I would love if you contributed that down in the comments below. Others can come and see and check out some other suggestions as well. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you're interested in checking out teaching textbooks, check that link down below in my description box. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.